agenda has been on the campaign trail. We followed elections in all the states. From Chhattisgarh, we travelled to Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and of course it's voting day in Delhi. And many people are saying the most interesting fight to watch is in Delhi. For the first time, we are seeing a triangular fight, and of course we see AAP's entry into politics with Delhi elections, which is why people are saying it's going to be a game changer. But does everyone agree? We're taking opposite points of view on our show. Our two pundits. We have Professor Sanjay Srivastav, who is a sociologist. He's saying, well, it's not really a game changer, only for the short term. But Bhavdeep Kang, senior journalist and columnist, says it definitely is a game changer. So we'll hear from our pundits in just a bit. And of course, we have the audience, which is a young audience. They are supposed to make the big difference in these elections. But let's just see what the experts are also looking out for. Remember, Delhi, the other states have had fantastic turnouts, but Delhi has been known for really low turnouts, actually about 45%. Will it be different this time? Let's take a look.
In 2008-2009, Pappu can't vote was the EC's slogan to get voters to come out and vote in the capital. 58% of Delhi responded. This time the EC is making an emotional appeal to Delhiites with its Dilli Dil Se to try and get more people out on polling day.
We calculated the figures of voter turnout right up to the polling station level. We identified geographical areas, income groups, age groups as to because of whom the voter turnout is low. And then we planned and designed a detailed action plan all over Delhi by which we wanted to give targeted interventions for different sections of society.
The nation's capital may be the center for politics, but that's failed to get people interested. In 1993, 62% voted. In 2008, only 58% of Delhi voted. Delhi's youth may be very articulate online, but voter registration figures for the capital reveal that many young voters don't register to vote, and only 45 to 46% turned out to vote. The Election Commission had launched a special drive across colleges in the capital, apart from a high-decibel campaign roping in youth Bollywood icons Soha Ali Khan and others to try and get the youth interested.
We have a large group now, and we've spread the word around boycott the bunkers, wherein we say on 5th of December, for one day, if you do not have ink on your finger, we are going to give. We are not going to talk to you.
बुद्धिजीवी सिर्फ बोलते हैं कि देश में गंदगी है, लेकिन वोट देने के समय में अपने परिवार के साथ मस्ती करते हैं, पिकनिक मनाते हैं. वोट डालोगे?
हाँ जी डालेंगे.
पिछली बार डाला था?
हाँ जी पिछली बार डाला था.
From cracking down against poll code violators to teaming up with civil societies, RWAs, even Bollywood, and then the Nota option, the Election Commission says that Delhiites now have no excuse but to come out and vote. With camera person Pooja Arya in New Delhi, Siddharth Pandey for NDTV.
So that brings us to our first talking point. Is the Delhi election going to be a game changer? Bhavdeep, why do you think it is?
Definitely a game changer for Delhi, because Delhi has never seen a tripolar contest before. Never. You could argue that in the last election, the BSP put up a very strong show with a 14% vote share. But the BSP was never a contender for power. Their vote was so distributed that they weren't looking at a significant number of seats. With AAP, it is different. Did they fight all the
seats last time?
Yes, they did. Yeah. And with AAP, you are looking at a contender for power, a contender for government. So definitely it's going to be a very different contest this time. And I would imagine that you will see a ripple effect of this from Delhi to perhaps the rest of the country in the years to come.
Well, that point I'll ask you to expand on that a little while later. But Professor Srivastav, why don't you think this is a game changer?
Well, firstly, I think it's a great thing that we have a three parties rather than just two. But I don't think it's a game changer because almost any serious social, political change that's happened in India has never happened from within the party politics system. The Domestic Violence Act, right to information, right to education, bills against sexual harassment, right of women to, in terms of succession, property inheritance. None of these have ever happened from within the political party system. So I think what the Aam Aadmi Party has in fact done, that once it became a political party, it has lost that opportunity. So whatever the shortcomings of the Anna Hazare movement, I actually think that had a greater potential for questioning and interrogating, and that's how change happens.
You mean from outside?
From outside, yeah.
And you don't see in any of the kind of campaigns that they've done anything different?
Well, actually, no. In fact, some of the statements I find quite strange. For example, Aam Aadmi Party leaders saying, we're not interested in power. I mean, politics is about power.
And that's contradictory.
I mean, it is, if you really want to change things, you have to be interested in power. That's how electoral democracies work. I mean, why would you not be interested in power? You don't want to be in opposition.
Yeah.
That's not how you change things.
Yeah.
That's why I think that, the real stimulus for change was when it was not a political party. Change in this country has never happened from the political system. That's not what political parties do.
Bhavdi, do you want to quickly respond to that before?
Yes, I do. Civil society was associated with the Anna Hazare campaign. The fact that Arvind Kejriwal chose to enter politics did not entirely move civil society away from him, because the issues are still on the table. They are still the same, and a large number of people have chosen to associate themselves with those issues.
Yeah. But the manner in which civil society is able to deal with a political party is very different from how civil society groups function as civil society groups. And that's, I think I'm very glad that everyone here has an opportunity to vote for Aam Aadmi Party if that's what they want to do. But I think that historically, no critical social change in this society, at least, has ever come from within the party political system.
Then we see history being made right here, because you see a very high level of engagement with these issues among people at all levels and from all social backgrounds.
Yes.
Okay, let's just move on and look at specifics over here, because really it's about, if you're seeing that change, how do we see it in their campaign, in the way they're talking, and some of the promises that they've made? We've already shown some of those which people have promised in the form of graphics. But if we ask that, our second talking point has it been a standout campaign? Bhavdi, in what ways do you see, and do you see a spillover effect? Yes, it's a triangular fight, but does it make the two major parties act differently, and how do we see that?
Yeah, we've certainly seen that. How it makes the other parties act differently, we'll come to that a little later.
Okay.
But as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, its main issue has come out of the Anna Hazare movement. That issue has been against corruption.
Okay.
I mean, look at the symbol, look at the that they've chosen. They've chosen the jhadu.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's a symbol with which a large section of people have been able to associate themselves, sweep out corruption.
Do you find it really stand out? Because don't people have strange, I mean, you had the cycle there. In Rajasthan, you have the book for the Rajpa. That's the party of Kirori Lal Meena.
We've heard a lot of rhetoric about corruption from political parties, but so far we've told ourselves that this is merely lip service. For the first time, there is credibility to the anti-corruption plank.
Okay.
And Arvind Kejriwal has emphasized on that, focused on that from the very beginning.
Okay. Okay.
And
yeah, sorry, do you...
No, ironically, in fact, I think a lot of people are attracted
But the promises are the same, aren't they?
Well, and promises are somewhat the same. No political party says that we are for corruption, right? All political parties say that we are anti-corruption.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the statements I actually find a little bit strange, in the sense of Aam Aadmi Party has been saying that we'll get a lot of MBAs and IIT engineers. I mean, as if you need an MBA, an IIT engineering degree, and anyone without these qualifications cannot run this country. The problems are not of it's not a technological fix.
I wanted to, it's interesting you mentioned that, because that perhaps for me has been the standout thing, that you see a lot more regular guys and people like us joining in the AAP party with these MBAs and all. You don't think that makes a difference?
Well, the people like us, it's a very small group you're talking about. The large numbers of people with far bigger problems than middle class people like us do.
For sure.
Right? So I think it's a standout campaign in as much as there is a third force, as it were. But in other ways, it is a political campaign, and a political party has to run a political campaign. I mean, what else? It's not going to say that we will do things which no one is going to relate to, right? So it is a normal political campaign.
And the kind of candidates that they've had, like Shazia, some of these other MBAs, a lot of other professionals, you don't think that makes a difference?
Well, so
doesn't change the political process?
Do not the other parties have similar well-qualified candidates? They may have other kinds of candidates.
But aren't there much more?
Well, I'm not sure that a technical degree or a PhD or a doctorate is any great qualification.
Do you think that makes a difference, Bhavdeep?
No, look, let's not look at this campaign in terms of the manifestos. The manifestos are all identical. They all promise the same kind of subsidies and public provisioning.
Yeah.
So let's look at it in terms of the larger picture. What is the message that these parties are sending out? Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is sending out a message of we'll clean up corruption, and in that sense,
and that message has really gone out.
And that message has gone out in a very focused and credible way.
Everyone wants that message. I completely agree with that.
But you're saying it won't change the whole thing.
Because I don't think, as I say, I keep saying, I don't think such large-scale change ever comes from within the party political system. Because the party system has to operate within certain constraints.
Can you give an instance of that?
From Sheila Dikshit, we receive a message of business as usual. Anubhav hai, raftar hai. You know, there's a certain arrogance to that slogan. And the BJP
I'm not endorsing either the Congress or the...
BJP too has been forced to focus on corruption. In fact, it had to change its candidate midway through the campaign.
Just because of Aam Aadmi.
Precisely.
That's interesting.
All I'm saying that the results were indifferent if it had been a non-political push that was there.
Do you agree with what he's saying, that a change cannot come within the political system? Can you give an instance in the past or perhaps where change did come, Bhavdeep?
No, he's probably right in that sense, but as I said earlier, we are seeing history being made.
Okay. Okay.
With this election at this time.
I wanted some audience reaction. Why do you think they're not going to change things?
Why I feel that they are not going to change anything? Because Aam Aadmi Party does not take any stand very properly. Earlier there was at Ramleh Maidan.
Give an example.
They said that we won't come in politics, and then later they changed their stand and they came in politics. Similarly, they said that we will clean the corruption, and in the political rallies, Arvind Kejriwal wore the skull cap that to woo the Muslim minority votes. So that shows that they are not changing. They are also coming and they are also going. They are also playing the politics.
Because does that mean that when they become politicians, they become fit the mold of the typical politician in saying something different and actually on the ground is different?
In order to effect any kind of radical change, you do have to be in politics. You cannot stand on the sidelines. And Arvind Kejriwal recognized that fact, and perhaps that's why he decided to take the plunge, right? Now,
but he's saying there was double speak like you see in other politicians. You saw it in the Aam Aadmi Party as well.
In fact, you did a program where an Aam Aadmi Party very senior representative said we were forced to come into politics.
Yeah. Well,
they said we were forced. We never wanted to come into politics.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't seem to be someone that is serious about actually change.
Okay, let's take another comment in. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Ma'am, when you when we talk about there being more professionally, high educated people in Aam Aadmi Party, then we have to look at the the other side, that will these guys, if they win, will they be able to carry out the government like the Congress has done? Okay, they have flaws, but they have more experience. But these well-educated people, are they experienced enough? And at this point of time,
is it practical? A lot of people have talked about the fact. What they're saying is that practical enough? Because when they're saying his radio spots say the day after we win, we are walking down, we're going to pass a Lokpal bill. But don't you need the centre?
Yeah, definitely you need the centre. In fact, since Delhi doesn't enjoy a full statehood, a lot of his initiatives are going to have to be supported by the centre, which is why increasingly we hear the slogan Kejriwal for CM and Modi for PM, as if the two will have to work a kind of jugalbandi to deliver good governance in Delhi.
Okay.
No, that is understood. But it doesn't detract from the fact that what is the man promising? He's promising to deliver corruption-free good governance.
Okay, let's just take a third talking point, because basically at the end of the day, if you're talking about a game changer, then it can't just be about the capital. It will have to go beyond. So will we see that influence beyond Delhi? Do you think so?
No, I think India is a really complex country. The Northeast is very different from South India. So I don't think that it is, as I'm suggesting that I don't think it has a great ripple effect possibility even within the national capital territory, let alone a larger part of the country. I'm hoping against hope that that will be true. But since I'm trying to be a realist, we've had enough fairy tales that political parties have told us for the last 65 years.
Yeah.
Realism tells me that really that the party political system is not built for, it's not meant to deliver radical change. That's not how it functions.